Hey, this is one of these videos I want to make. I don't know how it's gonna take off, but it's 2:01 p.m. Central Standard, 7/6/2018. So having my arm pain, I've had arm pain before, but not like this. I've also noticed that my blood pressure is kind of, I don't know, it's not high, um, but it's kind of crazy. So one of the things that's on my nerves is, like always, is these doctors. How they don't seem to listen to what the fuck patients say, right? So this might be, I don't know, explicit, the word fuck. Who knows? I don't know. I'm ticked off, but I'm trying to remain calm because of all my issues. But what pisses me off is these dumbass doctors. They don't listen. They don't listen. They're dumb. They're dumb. D-U-M-B. Dumb. All capital letters. And they don't care. And if you say anything, they all side with each other. And it kind of brings me back, and I gotta find that because it was like a whole list of statistics. But I think they said that 90% of patients wished that their doctors would listen to them more, right? So my rant is basically going off of just in general, they don't fucking listen, man. But my rant for the most part is going off. I went and I saw this PA, which wasn't even the PA that I thought I was going to see. And then I told her that when I was at the driver's license place or whatever, that, oh wow, when I was over there, that I was having issues with my eyes. Like I could read line 5, the middle letters, numbers, whatever, and then I can read the right side, but I can't read the left side. It took like 15-20 minutes, but the guy was like, okay, I'll let you pass. But he's like, you need to get checked out by a doctor or something. I was like, okay, cool. So when I finally did, bring up this issue, they told me that they were going to refer me to a clinic that I've already been to, which, by the way, is not part of their system at all. They're going to refer me to a clinic. And I'm like, no, I can't go there. I've been fired from the group. Now, the reason I was fired from the group is because, once again, nobody listens, and doctors are very retaliatory, just in general. The medical community in general, they don't seem to care about you. They stick up for their colleagues. But the first time I went over there, I had my eyes checked and whatever. It was like, because I was having all kinds of different weird symptoms and stuff. So they hooked me up with a neurologist, a neuro ophthalmologist. Only one in town apparently. And I think I saw somebody else as well. But I saw one person, and then I because I was having dry eyes and everything, and I asked him about that rhostasis and stuff. I'm the one that asked him, but I didn't really know what it is. And then when I finally got it through my insurance, which by the way cost like $1,300, I paid a couple, but still, I mean, that's $1,300 somebody had to pay. I noticed, that it was like a steroid. And I was thinking, because I was like, dude, I got enough issues. I don't want steroids, in my body. Your eyes do absorb that stuff. And it could cause issues. I don't know, and I wanted to ask these questions, and, it seemed like I could never get an answer, really. Basically, it was, communication was via, phone messages and stuff like that. And apparently the person was like, basically do what you want, whatever. And I could never get a clear answer from this guy. And then I don't know, somebody there asked me if I wanted to get a second opinion, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure, okay, cool. So these were the regular ophthalmologist. And then I saw somebody else. Well, that guy told me, yeah, stop taking that stuff. And he was like, yeah, you got dry eyes. I think it was the first one that signed me up with the neuro-ophthalmologist. And I saw him sometime. I'm assuming probably in between the two doctors. But the third doctor, he also wanted me to see some woman ophthalmologist that deals with dry eyes. They were going to do like, eye test and whatever. And the day of my appointment, I wasn't able to show up because I had, some issues. I'm on, because I'm sick and everything and I don't get much money, I'm on Section 8. Well, I didn't get my voucher until, like forever. Like, they called me 1 week prior and they said, yeah, come in. So, that was kind of an emergency. I mean, I was homeless anyway, but for a few months, but, I wasn't, I don't feel well. But I had to go over there, because these people, it's like, I literally blew their phone up probably over 100 times, leaving messages, and they're like, oh, well, we didn't get any message. Huh. But yeah, and then next thing I know, and by the way, prior to that, when I went and I saw a visit, I was actually charged by the same doctor previously that, did whatever, and I wasn't charged, but I was trying to get a script. And then I noticed after the fact, they told me, after I got everything done, then they said, if you want the script, you have to pay $30. I'm like, whoa, what? No, just bill me for whatever. And they're like, no, we're not going to do that, blah, blah, blah. So I'm assuming I got an outstanding balance of $30. I don't know. I think it's bullshit because they could have, billed me for my insurance as well. But they wanted to act like assholes. And I mean, I wasn't confrontational, like combative or anything, but I was, I stood my ground. I was like, this is preposterous, man, I mean, just bill me for that and whatever, and they just, I don't know, it was crazy. But yeah, and then after I didn't show up to my my appointment with the lady ophthalmologist doc, I got a letter saying that you've been fired, essentially. That it was something about, I don't know, I don't know if it was combative or it was something or whatever, and it was something, and I even asked about the situation, when, I was arguing, my case, which we have the right, as patients, we have the right to do, and they're like, oh, that has nothing to do with that. And one day I went in there and I asked about the, like, why am I fired? And they said for this reason, but they couldn't clarify to this reason. And the funny thing is I wasn't combative at all. They were saying that I was being combative to the first ophthalmologist that I was seeing there. And I wasn't. I can't think of any encounter that I had that was on the grounds of termination. None. Not at all. Not the first one, not the second one, and not the third one. None of them. At all. So they couldn't give me a reason, and they said that I was fired and, not to go there anymore, right? So that basically cuts out the neuro-ophthalmologist because that's where he practices as well, right? So going back around, my doctor, or not my doctor, but the PA, said, oh, well, you know, you're going to see this person, blah, 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 I'm going to refer you over. I'm like, look, dude, I can't go over there. Like, well, I don't know what to tell you. And now I got people calling me talking about, oh, well, you know, we want to schedule with you and blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I'm fired from the group. Well, at least that, in that building, that group. I'm still good with other groups, but the cardiologists over there in that group, they suck. They're not doing anything. Like, yeah, they're fighting shit, and then they're turning around and saying that I'm crazy and that I have mental issues. You know, I remember, like, my last cardiologist, he was saying, well, the reason you know, after doing these tests that showed abnormalities, well, you know, the reason you have all your health issues because you have psychiatric issues. You know, and then, you know, when I explained, I'm like, okay, well, I thought, and he's like, well, explain to me. And then, you know, he went out the door and was yelling at the his staff or whatever, like, I don't want to ever see this, you know, that guy in here again without an appointment. Now, basically, he was, you know, putting me down, saying shit, even though he found shit, right? So, and then, you know, he took off, but I was referred to somebody else, and that guy doesn't really seem to want to do too much, it seems. I've mentioned because they actually want me to get an angiogram, a CT angiogram, which this one I'd probably have a heart attack. I'd freak out. I'd have a heart attack, bro. Just straight up. This one, I'm not trying to get cancer. 1 in 2 men are getting cancer. You know, I have a family history of cancer. Now, I was doing research on my own, and I found something called MRA. It's like an MRI, but I guess it's a little fancier, and it can, you know, detect. So I guess it's like a MRI angiogram. I don't know. And I've mentioned different ways. I'm like, you know, how can we go about, you know, because the first one's going to give me a heart attack, man. I'm going to be up, and you're going to be doing this in my heart for like 5 to 10 minutes, and still, I'm like, no, dude. And the radiation, no. MRI, I don't like MRIs at all. But, oh wow, they would really put me in that tube, wouldn't they? Oh wow, they would really put me in that tube, bro. Oh wow. But I mean, if you can do that and figure out, okay, boom. And no answer. So, you know, I'm trying to, you know, I went back to my other doctor, the UHS doctor, and I told her about this situation as well, and she referred me, and I told her, I was like, look, I don't want, you know, that doctor, you know, I don't want that group, you know, I want UHS, which is crazy because, you know, I really don't. I don't see a lot of stuff. I mean, and then they don't even know how to take blood, dude. Seriously, the majority of all UHS people, they don't know how to take blood. You know? This chick, she barely poked me. Like, seriously, barely sticked me. And in fact, I think she had to readjust and try to, you know, take another tube or whatever to get more blood. But she barely pricked me, and I got all this. I mean, I've had so much stuff. I got like some weird knot right here. You know, I don't know what this is. But it's a bump. You know, probably UHS. I wouldn't doubt it. Somebody. But yeah, she referred me over there too. I'm like, what the hell? Because I just called the cardiology for UHS. And they're like, oh, sorry, sir. You have to, you know, call your doctor and, you know, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, dude, I got fucking, you know, medical insurance, Medicare, Medicaid. I can see anybody that I want, you know. Do I got to do whatever? And, you know, I mean, it's just they don't listen. You know, you got these people, you know, talking shit about you, You got people that's making shit up and then having you fired for it. You know, just like the doctor that I was seeing at the other practice in that group. She's a fucking cunt, dude. I mean, she's beyond a fucking cunt. Like, you know, I mean, I'm not saying, you know, to take her life, but, you know, I would have no problem taking everything else from her, you know? I'm serious. Like, I would take her fucking soul, man. Like, in the sense of, you know, time I get done with her, you know, she will be unforgotten. Or forgotten or whatever. You know, like, she would have nothing, dude. I mean, that woman did nothing but cause me issues. Every time I went there, she would, you know, she didn't do anything. I told her, like, hey, you know, because I came in, it took 9 months before I could see her. And I told her, I was like, look, you know, I'm having thyroid issues and all this other stuff and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, she would test my TSH and whatever. But outside of that, you know, she didn't seem to care about my Hashimoto's diagnosis. She didn't care. You know, I'd ask her to see her, you know, there was issues where I was having endocrinology issues. And I asked her about, hey, can you send me to an endocrinologist? Could you send me to anybody and everybody? And she just seemed not to do that. You know, I remember, I think it was the first and second visit. She's like, you know, I'm not going to order the test that you want me to. I'm going to order the test that I feel like. You know? So right there, that's already, I mean, you know, she's already putting in place that, okay, well, you know, I'm not going to do shit that you asked me to. I mean, I gained 74 pounds in 2.5 years. And she said, oh, well, that's muscle gain. Bitch, that ain't muscle gain, you fucking piece of shit. That's fucking fat. I'm so fucking fat now. Well, I mean, I've actually lost a lot of weight. But I got so fat that I have stretch marks on my stomach for the rest of my fucking life because of that fucking cunt. That piece of shit wetback cunt. You know, she is garbage. Period. You know, but because of tort laws and everything else, you know, you can't do shit. You know, and then, like, I kept telling her, I was like, look, I can't remember more than a couple days. And she never seemed to care about that. And, like, if I had any other specialist or whatever, and by the way, she was an internalist. If I had any other specialist, she would tell me to follow up with them. Even when the specialist, like cardiology, even stated to follow, you know, that she was supposed to follow up with my heart health. She did not care. She didn't care about shit. Like, if I saw her right now, I'm so fucking pissed, I would fucking, dude, I would break her fucking jaw, man. I would do more than that. I'd break her fucking jaw. What she did to me, dude, or what she didn't do for me. You know, just like she was talking about, and I think she used unequivocally, I don't remember, but in a, you know, in a portal thing online, she wrote me that that your weight gain has nothing to do with thyroid issues or whatever, you know. And even when I wanted to get the TPO-AB antibodies and whatever, she wouldn't do it, even though in 2011 it was high, you know. Now it's really high. It's not high like some of the people I've seen, but it's high enough, right? Just like I told her about all the memory issues and all that. You know, nobody, like, I kept telling her, I want to get a PET scan, all this other shit. I told everybody, nobody wanted to fucking do anything. And then we find out, what did we find out? I finally get a PET scan after everybody was putting me down and saying that I was nuts and there was nothing wrong with me and blah, blah, woof, woof, right? You know, found out I actually have brain disease. That my temporal lobes are barely working, my occipital lobes are barely working. Even when I told her, you know, the EEGs that I had in psychological test, that my frontal lobes were pretty in bad shape. Every time you do an EEG, it's always abnormal, right? You know, the psychological test, even probably just the brainwaves in general, is showing moderate to severe cognitive impairments, right? a whole bunch of stuff. You know, basically everything that I've been talking about. Just like, you know, I have a list. I don't know what the hell it is, but I have a list. Like, you know, things that I mentioned, like, this is how I feel. And they would all fucking say, oh, there's nothing wrong with you. You're just a hypochondriac. You're just making things up. You have anxiety. You have somatoform disorder. Blah, blah, woof, woof. In everything I said. When it came to my psychological test. Everything, dude. Everything. Everything matches up to brain disease. And then what I'm finding out is this brain disease will fucking kill me. It is going to fucking kill me, dude. It's going to... Ow, that hurts. But apparently it's going to put me in a coma first. So I guess I'll just die, you know, because I'll have complete brain death, probably. But no. It's all in my head. I just have depression, which that's what that doctor said. I have depression. I have psychiatric issues. To all the motherfuckers, I have psychiatric issues. To the doctor that, you know, the cardiologist that said, you know, that there was all these things, and then tried to turn it around and said that I had mental issues. And the reason that I had all these issues is because I had mental issues as well. And all these other cocksuckers. But yeah, you know, she was just, you know, like this doctor, like I was having urinary issues as well. And she didn't want to do anything. And then she would refer me to these specialists after the fact that she already saw that I had a specialist in that building. Then she would refer me. Right? She would refer me. So it would make it look like, oh, well, you know, your doctor actually referred. No, my doctor, bitch, did not refer me. I referred myself. Well, you can't do that. You have to be referred by a doctor. Well, I don't know. I've been seeing you guys. You know, it's just like when I was having rhomboid. Ah, God, jeez, that's still tight. Oh, nuts. But when oh, wow. When I was having rhomboid muscle issues and everything else, and I had a pinched nerve and all this other stuff, and I went to a chiropractor, and the chiropractor is like, hey, look, you know, because I'm not trying to get the X-rays. That's what it was. So, you know, get an MRI, and this bitch, instead of listening to what he wanted me to get, because he wanted to get here and he wanted to get to this area, you know, but she's like, oh no, I want to get just this, you know, a cervical MRI. I'm like, wow, you know, just like the kyphosis that I have. And then you'll have these people, well, I don't know, there's no cure for it, blah 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 blah, you know. But yeah, I mean, yeah, like the UA stuff, like, you know, I'd have these burning sensations and whatever, and they would test me for dumb shit, or maybe it's just the lighting. Maybe my skin or something, I don't know. I don't know, it looked like my feet were getting fat or something. They're not, I don't know if they're swollen or, I don't know, I just know my foot is a little red. Particularly the top of my right foot. I don't know, maybe I had my my other foot on there and it just kind of put an indentation. But yeah, like, you know, so she would want me to get a UA, right? And then when the UA came back, you know, even when there was things there like a uroglobulin or Billy, I don't know, something, which by the way is bad. It has something to do with the gut bacteria and something else. and it's not a good thing to have. Um, and whatever, you know, and she didn't care, you know, and who knows, that could have been the reason that I was having burning issues. But, you know, every time she was like, well, we could do another one. She did that 6 times. Didn't care. You know? You know, it's just like, you know, for instance, I could have +1 bilirubin. And no, well, yeah, that too. +1 bilirubin, or, you know, +1 protein in your urine. Well, there's a reason for that, right? Well, she wouldn't do anything. She, you know, wouldn't care. So, as a doctor, she has a duty to figure out, why am I having that, right? Especially if I'm having symptoms with it. I mean, it's just like when I was really sick, you know, a few years ago, and, you know, I was making a transition from Austin to San Antonio again. You know, my body was in a very bad state. Like, my ketones were 80, you know? So that I was pissing large amounts of bile, well, that too, but large amounts of ketones. You know, that in itself is really bad, but nobody cared. Now, I think I get like trace ketones here and there, but for the most part, you know, no. It just, yeah, I don't know, but I went to the manager because I've noticed these managers that are kind of like the, what do you call those? Oh my God, my mind. Kind of like the Grim Reapers or whatever. They just kind of want to kill you if they can. And I went to her, and I told her what was up and whatever, and, you know, I was like, you know what, let's hold on, let's wait, and whatever. And next thing I know, I guess she already told the doctor of what my thoughts were, and next thing I know, you know, I got a letter in the mail saying that I was fired. You know, saying that I was, you know, same shit, saying basically I was causing troubles or whatever. I wasn't. I mean, they fired me because I went and I told a doctor, I told the manager, office manager, that I wanted to see somebody else. They retaliated against me. You know, just like the other ones retaliated against me. You know, just like the cardiologist that was talking shit. I mean, I wouldn't say retaliating, but basically talking shit. And this is from a very recognizable group in San Antonio. A very recognizable group in San Antonio. Like, yeah. You know? And then the doctor that I'm seeing now, I mean, you know, she sounds like a cool person, like, in general. You know, she seems very friendly. But she doesn't know shit about health. She doesn't even try to figure shit out. And apparently they're not even listening to me. They're trying to send me to, you know, somewhere that I don't even want to be because nobody's fucking doing anything. You know? And that's what fucking pisses me off. And that's why people are dying left and right. People are getting all these diseases and whatever. You know? I mean, I think it's interesting is when I go to the emergency room and I'm talking about whatever, and you have a doctor telling me, my treating doctor, I wish I knew what his name was, but my treating doctor was like, you know, when it came to like diet and food and stuff, was talking about, you know, most diseases can be reversed. But, you know, the cardiologist isn't going to tell you that. You know, these other people, they're not going to tell you about that because they would be losing money. That's exactly what he said. I was like, you know, I was kind of like, my nigga, sort of, you know, like in training day, like, my nigga. Like, for real. You know, it's just like I go and see my gastroenterologist, which is funny because I was telling him and the nurse, you know, when I would see him here and there, about, some of these people, and they're like, well, maybe you should get a new provider. It wasn't just one provider, it was, a few providers, because I mentioned stuff. It's like, hey, look, I'm having these gastrointestinal issues. It's like my gut's not functioning. And gastro was like, well, I don't know. It's just like my gallbladder disease. How I told them that my gastro stated, by the way, at that building, stated that that he's not worried about it, that if it causes you great amount of pain, we'll cut it out. But outside of that, yeah. Yeah. And then I remember the female doctor's PA, a little bitch too. I mean, they're all cool in their own right, but when it comes to like professionalism of medical, they don't know shit. But which I don't know. Maybe that's the theme in America. For doctors is, there is no cure to heal the gut. And maybe that's right from a Western perspective. They seem to only want to give you drugs to suppress symptoms or surgery just to get rid of the whole issue altogether. But the problem is sometimes you can actually have problems, after that. I mean, you get rid of your gallbladder and you could really start having issues, including brain disease and whatever. It's just like I went and I saw this this registered dietitian person at the UHS, and I mean he's a cool guy, but I kind of wonder what the fuck he's even there for. I'm like, well, I didn't know what this is. They don't teach us in school. I'm like, how do you not know what DHEA is? Like, that's like a vital hormone, slash like that actually is part of diet as well. I mean, I don't get that. It's just like, I told him, like, I want to start eating healthy. Like, I want to eat, like, the vegetarian diet and get all the right shit and blah, blah, blah. And, I guess he was one of those bodybuilders or whatever, and all this other shit. And, he's all about eating the meat, bro. So, whatever, dude. Jughead, I guess. Meathead, as they call him. I don't know. I mean, he's not big. I don't know if he was like a Marine. I think he was in the military or something. Maybe, I don't know. But he had that like Marine physique. But buff physique. And I tried to, he's like, well, I don't know how to help you, man. He's like, I help people that eat too much, and you seem to, apparently you're not eating enough, I guess. I'm like, whoa, what the hell, man? Or you're eating just the right amount. Well, I was eating the right amount, and it was probably all fucking killing me. And I would mention other things, and it's just like, wow, what the hell is going on in San Antonio, Texas, man? What the hell is going on in Austin, Texas? And I would say, what the hell is going on in Texas, period, if not the United States of America? That doctors aren't even trying to figure out what the hell is going on with the person. They're not even listening to their patients. And they could do some stupid shit, and a patient says something, and that patient gets fired because the patient is thinking outside of the box. They're saying, hey, look, I got rights. What you're doing is not right. I mean, I don't know how many doctors' offices I've been fired from. But every time I can tell you that I was a professional. I mean, I probably got fired possibly one time. And even then, no. Because every time I got fired, just like another chiropractor that I was seeing was a piece of shit. I swear he's probably chopping up people. I don't know. I think, I don't know. I might have to call on that. But something wrong about them. I don't know. I just think it's weird that they're all surgeons. And they got like the surgeon Oregon medical bag. I mean, red flags like a motherfucker. Like, I did not feel very comfortable over there. And then they want to give you shots and shit like after hours. I'm like, fuck that shit. And then they want to do all these tests on what they want to do, and then they don't want to tell you what test. they're gonna do. You know, racking up a bill, putting you on whatever. You know, and then, you know, just, wow, dude. But yeah, the last time I was having issues, and then that's when I was having all that pain issue, and I was in pain for months, dude. And this surgeon guy, piece of shit, fucking old man, fucking um, can't say that, but I think he was like the former general surgeon for the military or something, and I think South Korea or somewhere. I think South Korea. So, but the guy was just a fucking piece of shit. You know, like I was just saying in my video about, you know, cancer and, you know, x-rays and everything else. And, you know, I was like, you know, is there any way? He's like, no. You know, it's like, let's get an MRI or something, you know. But the guy just got really combative, and, you know, he's like, well, I don't need a lecture. I was like, you do realize, you know, x-rays can cause cancer, right? You know, he's like, well, I don't need your lecture. We're done. And then, you know, Musclehead, I mean, the guy is cool, but, you know, he's a little pawn. Musclehead tried to throw me out, and I just kind of like said, fuck you motherfuckers, I'm gonna sue you ass, sue your fucking bitch asses and whatever. I haven't been there since, fuck them. But, I mean, every place I've ever been, I've been courteous, I've been polite, I've been professional. I'm going over there to get help, you know, and hey, you know, they're getting their money. They may not get the money as, you know, private insurance company or straight out of pocket, but they're getting money, you know, and I'm just there trying to seek help. I'm desperate to get healthy. And it seems like none of these cocksuckers listen. None of these cocksuckers care. Nothing. At all. Nothing. And I don't know if anybody else has these type of issues. And I don't think anybody's going to watch almost 40 minutes of this. But, you know, if you've had any issues like this, I wished. You know, we need to fucking stand up, dude. You know, we got to stand up. We got to stand up to the tyranny. You know? Us as human beings in general, we need to be protected. And there needs to be accountability on these doctors that's literally getting away with murder. They're literally getting away with murder. You know, I was watching some cop, I don't know, some weird, I don't know, whatever issue. I think it was California or something. But this guy got pulled over, you know, cops thought he was somebody and whatever. And he was talking about that, you know, you got you're 8 times more likely to get shot by a police officer than killed by a terrorist. And the cop was like, oh, really? Oh, yeah, those cops were corrupt, dude. You know, especially when they realized there was, you know, a camera person across the street, and then they changed shit up. Like, you could hear the conversation. It was like it all got different. But I'm glad the guy stood his ground. I mean, I don't know about some of his profanity, you know, cussing at the cops prior and after the fact, but, you know, I'm glad that he stood his ground, you know. I mean, we shouldn't be harassed. I mean, yeah, you could be like, hey, look, you know, this is whatever. But the thing is we have constitutional rights. We're supposed to, allegedly. And regardless if we have constitutional rights, dude, we're fucking humans. We were born here, you know, on planet Earth. But that's a different story. But, no, I was to that story. I'm blacking out right now, so I don't remember. But to that story, you know, I'm all thinking about, you know, I really need to go to the store, actually. But to that story, because I'm running out of water. What was I going to say? Yeah, I mean, doctors, if you're talking about doctors are 9,000 times more dangerous than gun owners, and I actually might even be that higher now. Um, and we're talking about 8 times from cops. So you probably have a better chance of dying from a doctor than a cop. Which, I don't know. You know, I get away with a lot of shit, so, and I don't really look like a threat. But at the same time, I've had to deal with some police officers in the past, and, they just acted like fucking pricks. Just like I told them that I have, like, seizures and stuff, or something like that, right? And I was like, can you turn your lights off or whatever? Please don't, like, make them, whatever. Just, like, have it, like, that way. Like, okay, red, white, red, blue. That's actually funny. That's actually interesting that I think about it. The colors of our freedom is red, white, and blue, right? Good. I'm having spasms in my in the lower parts of my my bowels. That's all I'm gonna say. It kind of felt like it was pinching or something. So yeah, I don't know, man. Doctors, they're not doing shit. They're not helping people, and eventually people are gonna die. They're gonna die anyway. But they don't really seem to care. It's just like when I told the bitch I was losing muscle, the doctor, that I was losing muscle, and I was getting fat. Whatever. It's like, oh, you're gaining all that muscle. No, I'm not. And then even when I went up and visited some friends in Austin, they're like, oh, wow, you gained a lot of weight. Like, yeah. But, like, I feel my back legs right now, my calves, and they feel all deformed and shit, dude. Like, I feel like I'm losing muscle. I've always found my legs to be pretty damn sexy, actually. You know what? That is interesting. The way my upper foot looks. Kind of like you got the leg, you got the leg and then the foot, and how it goes like that. Right on the bottom, it's red. It smells like boiled chicken or something. But yeah, I don't know what to do, man. I'm gonna die because they're not doing anything, and that pisses me off. Like, that just fucking pisses me off in general. Like, they're not doing anything, and I'm not a bad person. I'm just asking for help. I just want to get better, right? What's so hard about getting better? What's so hard asking for help? And how fucking dare you? I come to you, bitch. I come to you to try to get help. I'm looking up to doctors for help, and then not only are you taking my money or charging me in general, but you're putting me down, saying that I have mental issues and I need to go see a shrink. See, that's the fucking problem, dude. That is the problem with this fucking state of Texas, is they're letting doctors do this shit. And they may be like, oh, no, we're not doing that. Well, yes, you are, dude. Because all the people that I've seen, not everybody, but the majority of, over 95% of all the doctors that I've seen are complete douchebags that shouldn't even have their fucking medical license. And some of them don't anymore. I went to one hospital, and actually I'll say it, the Methodist hospital, and I remember when I was first going there, I saw like 3-4 doctors. I don't know, I haven't really looked at it in a while, but where you can go to the Texas Medical Board and you can look up, if there's any um, complaints filed. And there was multiple complaints filed on these different people. I mean, that was way back in the day, so, maybe the doctor's a lot better, I don't know. I mean, I've gone there a couple times since, I've had so-so experience. I mean, the last couple times, it's been a little better to a point. I mean, it's a lot better than the other ones. But you got doctors, allegedly, giving patients drugs and having sex with them, whatever the case is. I know one doctor I saw completely lost his license. I gotta actually figure out what doctor that was. But I mean, that's the crazy thing, though. Overall, is you could have all these symptoms in the world, and you go to a doctor, and all they're going to do is rack up tests, maybe give you drugs or something, and that's it. That's it. Test, drug, surgery, psychiatric therapy or something. That's it. That's Western medicine in a nutshell. And unless you're having a heart attack like exactly at that moment, they don't care. Unless you're having a full-blown stroke where you're just like, they don't care. And even with that, it states if you have any symptoms of a stroke, it doesn't matter, because not everybody has the drooping or whatever. But they'll just be like, oh, you're not having a stroke. If you were having a stroke, you wouldn't be talking to me. Like, how fucking stupid are you? You realize, if I'm not talking to you, if I have a fucking stroke, it's because it hit me in that area. A stroke can hit you, and depending where the stroke hits, will affect that. That's why sometimes if a person gets a stroke in a certain area, they can't walk. Or, whatever. They're just whatever. If they get a stroke in the eye-ish areas, they could go blind. Whatever. So you're not gonna have everything. But these people, they don't care. But then again, if you talk about suicide or whatever the case is, it's like, oh, well, this person's unfit. We got to give them some, we got to do a check or whatever, and, put them in the nut house, drug them up, make them a zombie. I mean, it's just like people with emotional issues and stuff. Like schizophrenia, psychiatric issues, schizophrenia, and whatever. It's like, they give these poor people these drugs that's just going to dope them up and zombify them. That's all. That's why the majority of these people, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've probably met a lot of schizophrenics. I know I have, and I don't know if they're all different when it comes to just character in general, but most schizophrenics that I've seen, they are rebellious and troublemakers, and they just don't want to listen. I mean, I'm sure there's legit cool schizos and stuff, but they actually got a good heart. They're not pieces of shit. But not saying those people are pieces of shit. Well, the people that I know, yeah, pieces of shit, dude. Don't need them. Loved them, but hey, they don't want to they don't want to be, friends or whatever, if they want to take advantage of you, it is what it is. Time to say bye-bye, Felicia. So, anyway, speaking of bye-bye, you guys are Felicia. Probably gonna try to get up and move around. I do think it's interesting with the symptoms that I'm having. My mind kind of feels whatever, and I kind of feel like I may have some walking issues as well. I don't know what to do. I kind of feel like, I don't know, I don't feel like coordinated right now. I feel like I'm gonna fall or something. I mean, I don't think I'm having this pain yet, but I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why I'm having these issues. But, for a 51-minute video, it probably doesn't matter anyway, because I can't find a doctor that wants to help me, or a doctor that actually wants to listen to me. I may be having cardio issues, which I know that I have mild heart enlargement, and nobody seems to care. And that's another thing about physicians, is you can have blood tests. Dude, you can have a CBC, CMP, you got 10 things abnormal, and they don't care. And they all say it's not specific. And that's it. They don't try to follow up to see why you're feeling the way that you're feeling. They don't care. Right? So, regardless if you got stuff, it's just like, all those years with my brain issues. They didn't care. Now they want to give me steroids and compromise my immune system even more. But I don't know what to do, man. I don't know what to do. I'm feeling very odd right now. Very odd. It's like my body is, I don't know. It's like it's light, weak, and unbalanced. Or something, I don't know. I'm not exhausted, I feel odd, I feel strange. I don't know if it's because of cardiovascular issues, digestive issues, my brain, or autoimmune disorders, or 1,000 other things that could be going on with me. I mean, maybe some of the things that I've said in this video, yeah, it's just, this is the way that I was feeling at the present moment. I mean, can you blame me? For myself, it's horrendous that I'm going through these issues. But I also find it horrendous and appalling that other people are going through issues like this. Maybe not the same symptoms, but we're going through these things and doctors aren't doing nothing. The healthcare community is not doing anything. The states, they're not doing anything. Nobody seems to care about healthcare unless there's an agenda, and the agenda now is, I should have the right to kill my unborn child. That's women's healthcare right now. But then again, they flip their narratives for other things. I don't believe in abortion. I'm pro-choice. Which is funny because to a point I can't stand people. You know, at least this society. You know. I mean, I don't mind people. It's just their characters or personalities. You know, especially when it all seems to be the same damn thing. I don't know if my blood pressure's low or what's going on, but I feel weird, dude. I don't know if my sugar's low or what. It's just another video, I guess. Another video that nobody seems to care about, probably. Unfortunately, nobody seems to care about anything, it seems, these days. I wished I was healthy, man. I wished I was healthy. I wish I had a good job making excellent money and still had time. You know, I wish I had nice vehicles, nice house. Teenagers by now. You know, sexy, hot-ass wife. Even if she did gain a little weight, still sexy. I mean, I would want somebody that's healthy. But, you know, say we got healthy kids. All that. Taking trips around the world. Teaching my kids, you know, how to garden and eat healthy and teach them the right stuff, right? Teach them better things. Give them a chance. But I even think I'm starting to have that stuff again. Oh, God, I'm getting all these fucking knots. What the fuck? I'm getting knots over my body. I mean, dude, if you're having knots over your body from stress, there's something going on. But yeah. But I mean, even if all of a sudden I took a pill or an elixir, just all of a sudden got healthy, I'm about to be 35. Do you realize how old I'm going to be? I'm going to be like grandpa age, dude. I'm going to be like in my 50s when my kid's 21. That's if I had a kid now. You know? You know, I would love to be young and play basketball with my kids or sports or whatever the case is. But I'm going to be that fucking old man. And then if my kids don't have kids before whatever, Now I'm going to be gone. And then I'm not going to be around for, you know, my grandkids for that long. So my grandkids will never know their grandfather. It's sad if you think about it. It's really sad. But anyways, I'm going to get off of this thing. I'm going to try to, I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably going to go to the Dollar Tree. So there's some shit I want to get. Probably straight up poison, but one thing I wanted to get help me with my digestion. So maybe that's what it is. But the other stuff, you know, before I know it, I won't be eating. I won't even be able to eat that. You know, I just think about all the different issues I have. You know, the digestive issues on every front, the gallbladder issues, the liver issues here and there, the inflammations of different things, the brain disease, the thyroid issues. The things that I was once able to take in and now I can't. And I smoke a cigar now and, you know, I get so lightheaded, I feel like I'm going to pass out. I drank an ounce of soda and my pulse, I literally feel my heart's like this and my pulse is 140. You know, I ate some chips and my pulse is racing. Even eating candy can screw me up. Funny thing is, eating healthy food is screwing me up too, so it's funny. I'm clammy. It's like cardiologist, huh? I just think it's interesting that most men will not seek medical attention. Most men will not seek medical attention. They're too stubborn, right? You know, it's one of the reasons it's always good to have a girlfriend or a wife that cares, because, you know, they're like, come on now, we're going to the doctors, we're going to get you checked out. Ouch. And then you got the youngsters, or the, you know, guys in general that see themselves to the doctor. You get checked out and try to get help, and they're looked at as crazy, that there's nothing wrong with them, that they have mental issues or anxiety. Even when all the tests even show that there's something going on, they do nothing. You know? I wish I could really advocate, you know, and bring balance to the system of so-called checks and balances. Cross your T's, dot your I's. You know? But when you have lobbyists and, you know, people that have other intentions, and they lie to people, they deceive people, you know, that's when issues start to happen. And then people like myself and people like you and you and you know, we all get screwed. You know, America is not only poisoning us with all their crap, and we're getting sick, but they're also mocking us you know. And not only do they mock us, they make us pay for that mocking. I don't know what that was. You know, we gotta pay, and if we don't got no money, it goes towards our credit, which drops our credit history, which is, I mean, depending on who you're talking to, but you know, that's a bad thing. You know, we need debt to prove that, paid debt to prove that, you know. And even then, I don't know. You got to talk to Dave Ramsey about that. But you know, so they insult us, they put us down, they demean our character. They say whatever they're gonna say. You know. So not only are we sick and we're wounded, asking for help, we have to pay for shitty service and now have the title of hypochondriac. Somebody with mental issues, somatoform disorder, whatever the case is, anxiety, whatever. You know, I'm sitting here right now and I can feel my body, it's starting to get clammy again. I've been chilled the whole time, but it's clammy and it's 75 in here. I don't know. I think I got enough water for the day, so I don't think I'm going to go to Walmart's, but I think I am going to go to the Dollar Tree and do that. So when it comes to the calling for other people, I don't know. And you know, and I bet you it's all the same thing, dude, because I have, before I literally go, I got referrals for different places. And I bet it's all at that group. So urology, cardiology, whatever. Oh wow, that hurt. Even though I told him, like, you know what, I don't always want to, like, I came to you and I asked you for help. Instead, you shunned me. You didn't listen to me. And you just did what the hell you wanted to do. I have a urologist. I have a gastroenterologist. I have cardiologist, sort of. Not really. I do, but I don't. Mine left. I have another one, but he's not technically... He's a referral. So, referral over referral. And then somebody else that I saw allegedly said I had anxiety. I'm like, wow. So, it's interesting. My PCP that I talked to, I said I needed a UHS cardiologist. And they give me somebody else from another group that I've gone to. The same person that she said, well, I don't know, it wasn't like that, but because I told her that I saw a neuro, the electrician and heart doctor or whatever. And she didn't know what to do, right? Because I was referred by that doc, cardio doc, to see if it was my autonomic nervous system. And she said, I don't know. And basically she said, do yoga and meditate or something. Right? That's it. But allegedly, in the notes, it stated that the person thought I had anxiety. So, in this recording, did I not say, the doctor that said that, the reason I have all my issues is because I have, mental issues or whatever? And then he got all butthurt after, I mean, I wasn't trying to, like, show him up, but, like, just going back to the things that he said. And how I did mention that they said that I had a right mild heart enlargement. And that I also have other issues. So I've had multiple tests, and each one of them are coming back abnormal, and that's why they wanted to do the angiogram. So if I'm having anxiety, why the fuck would cardiology want me to get that? But you're saying I had anxiety, even though other things showed that I had something. See, this is a prime example of the way physicians operate today, is they don't take you seriously, even when the test and everything else shows that there's something wrong with you. That's exactly how it is. They don't care. So my cardiologist kinda referred me to a electrocardiologist, physiologist, whatever, to see if my nervous system was shot or whatever, that maybe it was creating, whatever issues. And then she's saying she doesn't know how to do that, and that I had anxiety. So the first cardiologist that I saw here in San Antonio said that I had mental issues, that it was all in my head, that, he was going to prove to me that I didn't have angina and I didn't have any heart issues. The second doctor that put me down did find that there was stuff, but tried to just blow it off. And then the other person said that I just had anxiety. And then the cardiologist in Austin, Texas that I saw, looking at notes, I think it said that I had anxiety or psychiatric issues or something. It's like they're all being taught this. Oh, well, you have this. Well, it's crazy because the test that they're doing is showing that I'm having something. Like, I could literally show you proof of what they're doing. And this is just Texas. This is how Texas operates. You could be one step from real bad shit and they don't care. You have to be 2 steps in to deep shit before physicians will care. It's just like the doctor that I was talking about, the massive weight gain. And then my hair. In the last few years, my hair, dude, like, all that, like, I still got hair there, but it's thinning. And then, like, hair here, it doesn't even grow. So I have to cut it up. See, it's not even. But, yeah. But I'm going to get off this thing because it eats up, and next thing you know, the file becomes corrupt. But I'm going to get off. So, post, comment, all that good stuff. Oh, wow, that's nice. That's nice. Those little white spots on there. Well, not those white spots too, but how my hand's doing that. That's not good, actually. Yeah. I'm not flicking you off. I'm just showing you. But those right there, like in the middle, that's not good. Alright, I'm off. Hopefully this thing did not corrupt. Love you guys.